Okay, welcome back for the last part of our AI scam deep dive. We've covered a lot, from how these scams actually work to like the emotional tricks they use and how to think critically about what we see online.
Yeah, definitely gone through some pretty intense stuff. But now I think it's time to get some tools and resources so we can actually fight back.
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing to know about the threats, but it's way more important to know like what we can actually do to protect ourselves. So where do we start?
Well, a good place to begin is to get familiar with some good sources of info on cybersecurity and online safety.
Okay, that makes sense. But there are like a million websites and organizations out there. How do we know who to trust?
You're right. It can be tough. One organization I always recommend is the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC. They have a really great website with tons of articles, tips, even videos on all sorts of stuff, including scams.
FTC. Got it. What about for AI scams specifically? Is there anyone who focuses on that?
Absolutely. There are groups like the Partnership on AI and the AI Now Institute. They're doing some awesome work on AI ethics and safety. They publish research and guidelines on how to use AI responsibly, and that includes protecting people from harm.
So they're not just looking at the big picture, they're giving advice for everyday people. That's great.
Exactly. They get that for AI to be a good thing. It needs to be developed and used the right way. And that means protecting people from these scams.
Okay, so we've got some reliable sources for info. What about tools? Are there any programs or apps that can help us stay safe online?
There are. And as AI gets better, so do the tools to fight against it.
Like what? Tell us.
One thing that's really useful is anti-phishing software. You can install it on your computer or phone, and it helps block those sneaky phishing emails and websites we talked about.
So it's like an extra layer of protection, a digital bodyguard, always watching out for suspicious stuff.
That's a great way to put it. And another tool that's becoming really important is AI detection software. It uses AI algorithms to look at text, images, and videos to see if they've been messed with or made by AI.
Wow, so it's like fighting fire with fire, using AI to catch AI scams. That's crazy.
It is. And these AI detection tools are getting better all the time.
So it sounds like we have a lot of resources and tools we can use, but I think it's important to remember that technology isn't the whole answer, right?
You're totally right. Technology can be super powerful, but it's not magic. We still need to use our own judgment, our critical thinking skills, and that emotional intelligence we talked about.
It's like having the best security system, but if you leave the door unlocked, it's not going to help much.
Exactly. We need to be proactive, not just reactive.
So what are some proactive things we can do? Give us the list.
Well, like we've said, staying informed is super important. Make it a habit to keep up with the news about AI and cybersecurity. There are great websites, podcasts, even social media accounts that share info about new scams and how to protect yourself.
Right. Knowledge is power. The more we know, the more prepared we are.
Another important thing is to check your privacy settings on all your accounts. Social media, email, everything. Make sure you're only sharing what you're okay with, and be aware of who can see your posts and info.
It's like locking the doors and windows of your online house.
Exactly. And just like you wouldn't give your house keys to a random person, be careful about who you trust online. Don't share personal stuff, especially money stuff, with anyone you don't know and trust, especially if you've only met them online.
And of course, if something feels off, trust your gut.
Always trust your gut. It's often your best defense against scams.
Well, this deep dive has been really informative. I feel like I understand a lot more about how AI is being used in these scams and what I can do to protect myself.
I'm glad to hear that. And remember, while it's important to be aware of the risks, don't let fear stop you from exploring all the cool things AI can do.
That's a good point. It's all about balance, right? Embracing the good stuff while knowing about the bad.
Exactly. AI can change so much about our lives for the better, but like any powerful tool, it can be misused. It's up to us to make sure it's developed and used the right way.
Well said. So, to all our listeners, stay informed, stay skeptical, stay vigilant, and don't be afraid to ask questions. And remember, knowledge is power.
Absolutely. And never underestimate your own intuition. Trust your gut, and you'll be able to navigate the digital world safely and confidently.
That's great advice. Thanks for joining us for this AI scam deep dive. We hope you found it helpful and empowering.
It was my pleasure. Until next time, stay safe out there.